Josh Johnson Show. I'm Josh Johnson, joined by my co-host, fellow stand with me, and Logan Nielsen. Logan, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
It is weird.
This is the closest we've ever sat doing the podcast.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that you're here because now, at least at the
hurtful.
Well, at the other place, I could turn to you. Like any other time we've been together before this, I could turn to you, look at you, whatever. And this one, it feels odd to look at you because you're too...
Well, it's because we're doing the video version and we're only doing it on the one camera. I'm explaining to the listener.
I'm with you, but...
So we had to sit a little bit closer. And yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and throw an arm around him.
Do that.
Oh,
please.
Come on. You love it. We're buds.
If you have to tell someone they love it, they don't. As a general rule... If you have to say you love it,
fair. That is fair.
You know,
that is a fair statement. But this guy, though, he does love it. I've never felt him like pull away so hard. You tensed up there.
Yeah. Because
let's talk about your problems with intimacy.
I was talking about how I didn't love it before, and then you. But it's fine. It's okay. That's just how you are.
Not to be too visual, but yeah, we're sitting right next to each other.
Yeah,
because I'm in New York
We are both in New York.
Yeah, you're about to leave though.
Yeah, I leave tomorrow, but we're in New York right now.
Yep, right now.
So how was it getting in?
It was all right. You know, we got in kind of late last night. Jess, if you hear any clicking, that's also Jess taking some pictures. That's okay.
Yeah,
We've done that before in an episode. We're getting some photos done while we're recording. It was good. So on the flight out, so Jess was window seat, I was middle, and there was a guy on the aisle. And he, you know, when the flight first took off, like I just had headphones in, was chilling. It was actually like the most calm I've probably ever been because I don't really love flying. And I was actually like really just kind of like relaxed. We had several margaritas before we got on the plane too, so that probably helped. And then I just noticed the dude next to me. It's like he's really uncomfortable and keeps like leaning forward and like just is like really kind of having a hard time. And then I want to say we're probably like 20 minutes into the flight, maybe. We weren't that far into it.
It wasn't even to the point where the puppies got stolen.
Right. I can't, honey, no one will be able to hear you say that whole thing. I was just looking for like a yes.
I hope they can hear it. That was... Jeez.
Well, I just say from here they wouldn't be able to hear that.
So what happened?
So he's freaking out, and then then I finally had to like stop and check in on him. It's because I saw him grab the vomit bag and he like shook it out, but then put it back, but then like kept checking on it. And I finally was just like, I took my headphones on. I'm like, hey man, are you good? Like, what's up? And then he was having a panic attack, he told me.
Now, have you taken off yet?
Yeah, we're in the air by now. Yeah,
okay.
By the time he started,
you're checking on him to be like, do I need to let you out of the aisle so you can go to the bathroom?
Well, no, but he's on the aisle, so I don't need to let him out at all.
Oh, he is on the aisle. Okay.
I was more just checking, like, I just really didn't want a guy vomiting next to me, was my thing.
And it would have been a terrible experience for you. Yeah. It would be a horrible experience.
Well, no,
for Logan.
But no, I wanted to see if I could.
Totally different person.
I wanted to see
a panic attack and threw up their guts.
Okay, no. I didn't know he was having a panic attack.
All right,
I just saw him. I just saw him grabbing the bag. I wanted to see because I couldn't tell if he was like sick or was just having like a hard time.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that in this situation, someone that's gonna hijack the plane and somebody scared of a hijacker look exactly the same. They have the same level of like nerves. They have the same like, whew, okay, all right,
yeah.
Oh, be with me, God. And it's just like, it's like for those early few seconds, minutes, you can't
really tell.
You can't tell if you're like, is this the guy or should I help this guy?
Well, that's the thing. I just couldn't tell like what was going on with him.
Yeah.
Because he was like, he wasn't just if he was just going like. Like then I'd be like, okay, he's gonna definitely just throw up. He's just
okay.
No, but I'd be like, he's definitely sick.
Yeah.
But the fact that he was so fidgety and like kept like not sure what to do with himself, I'm like, he may just be having like a freak out.
Yeah.
So thank you for turning this into me being a selfish villain, because the whole point of it was I actually took my headphones out and I talked to him for the rest of the flight, just to calm him down. And he was very kind. I'm very glad, because that could have backfired. You know my hatred of talking to people anywhere.
What I like is if you there should be a whole storyline of you being an anti-hero, of like you talking people off of ledges that are like about to commit suicide because you don't want to see a dead body.
Yeah,
you're like telling the dude, you're on the bridge with the dude, and you're like, listen, if you jump right now, I don't know if I would ever be able to unsee, and I go this route to get home every day. So you would be ruining my commute for the rest of my life.
You're going to fuck up this whole block for me. Yeah. And I don't need that. I live nearby.
Do you really want me to have to go around?
Don't do this to me.
Yeah.
Don't do this to me, sir. I don't care about your family. I do not care about your family. I need to make that very clear.
Yeah.
Don't do this to me.
And then he's like, you know what? You're right. I should kill myself at home.
Great, because I don't know where that is.
Yeah.
So you do it.
Okay. So then this is you helping this person.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't expect it to be me become the villain so quickly in the story, but yeah, it was me.
No, I was saying it would be funny.
No, I know. But no, it was me. Then I just talked to him the whole time, and which helped him calm down. He was very grateful, and he was a very nice guy.
Yeah.
Nice talking to me. He lives in New York. But yeah, he was just having a panic attack. And so we talked about it, because I've had panic attacks. So I'm like, listen, I get it.
Yeah.
And so we just talked for the rest of the flight, and then that was it. And then when we got into our Uber, I always like talking to Uber drivers, particularly in New York. I like New York Uber drivers, but by that point, I'd spoke on a whole flight, so I was silent.
Yeah, you're pretty spent.
I have so much I don't know, small talk in me.
I feel like I don't want to overshoot it, but I could easily say that maybe a 10th of the stories that are told to me that I tell on the podcast are Uber drivers.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you even saw in DC, when we were in DC, I just asked them, I'm like, what's the longest ride you ever had? What's the craziest ride you've ever had? Blah, blah, blah. And sometimes they give you nothing. Yeah, sometimes they're like, hey, drunk people drunk.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, all right, there's not a lot to pull from there.
Or some give you the vibe of just like, oh, they want to just do their job and just get you out of the car.
Yeah, but every once in a while, somebody's thirsty to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
We had one of the guys in DC was just like, he wasn't going off of like.
Which one was that?
The guy who was talking about like comedy and stuff like that. And
oh, yeah. His eyes.
Oh, yeah. What happened with that?
So our Uber driver in DC, or maybe we were in Arlington for this one.
I mean, they're right next to each other.
And he was telling us, this is so funny. He was like, I got the new iPhone, but they were trying to upsell me. And so I wasn't sure if I was making the right decision, because then some guy that was trying to upsell me was like, no, you got to get the latest version because they're out here playing games with this middle one. You got to get like the tip top, and you got to get the most memory because you don't know, it could be the end of the world. Like the dude was like really upselling him. And then he wasn't sure if he should even get a new phone because it's not like his regular phone was broken. Then he gets the new phone.
Yeah.
And
it was like the newest
at the time. Then he plugs it in, and it's supposed to have this great battery life and everything. And
he kept saying he was looking at it, he kept saying 50%.
Yeah.
And no matter how much he charged it, no matter what he did, it kept saying battery life 50%. And he was like, what the fuck?
And it went to 50% early in the day. After him charging it, which was especially why he was like, what's happening? This is crazy.
Yeah, this is supposed to be a better battery, but it's only at 50% ever.
Yeah.
And then he finally put on his reading glasses.
Yeah.
And realized it wasn't 50, it was 5G. It said 5G in the corner.
Yeah, it had been saying 5G all day.
All day.
And he was like, this battery trash.
Which is also good to tell you while he's driving you around, to be like, listen, I can't see great.
Because he didn't have glasses on while he was driving.
That is true, actually. Now that you say that, he was not wearing glasses.
Because he told us at the end of the trip, he told us all this. So at the very end of the trip, he's telling us this story. So outside of that, we're just chatting about comedy, stuff like that. This is the last story he tells us before we get out. And as I'm getting out of the car, I look at his face, and I'm like, this man doesn't have glasses on.
I didn't think of that until this second, till you just said that.
I couldn't stop thinking about that. I thought about that. I thought that's also I don't know. I thought that was also on your mind. I was like, this man's been driving us around blind.
No, I didn't think about that at all.
Because he drove us from Nando's to the venue.
Yeah,
so it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
like, because here's the thing. When you're doing that, so when we were at Arlington Draft House, the hotel is very close to the club. So
Super
then
close.
It's like you could walk, but it's a 20-minute walk, or it's like a 5-minute, cab.
It's very
Uber,
hot,
whatever.
too.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we kept taking the Uber because we
Yeah.
were like, it's nothing, It's like $6 and it's a quick conversation, whatever. But this time we were at a restaurant and then getting the Uber from the restaurant to the venue. And so that was like and he had to get on the highway at one point and then get off of it. The idea that he just did all that and he maybe couldn't see.
With no sight. Yeah. I didn't think of that till just now. That's amazing. Yeah, in that area, you have to just constantly get on the highway, too. It seemed like if we wanted to go anywhere, they had to do that little circle.
Yeah, you have to do
highway.
a circle and then take like the second exit and you're across town.
No matter where you want to go.
No, okay.
Wow. I did not think of that till, because now it's like this is a week later, my life is flashing before my eyes. A week later.
Yeah, dude, when he told us that, I was getting out of the Uber and I was like, what?
I didn't even connect.
That's why I didn't laugh that much. Because this dude's like laughing, and you're laughing. You're like, ha ha ha. Like he was like,
I was just giving him a laugh because he said it was the funniest thing that ever happened to him recently,
and it's funny.
It's funny. It was like, it's fine. I just wanted to give him,
but it is
be a good audience member.
You were, but I was like walking in the club, like, okay, you're over here. Like, this is the other thing that was kind of like. It's when I decided to just not bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was also on your mind.
No, I wish you would have said something.
After we got out of the Uber, you were quiet. Like, I was quiet. I don't know if you were on your phone or something. But then when we get inside, you're all about, like, when the show's starting. And I'm like, hey, we just got drove around by a dude who can't see.
No,
and so you're over here asking, like, so you think we'll start like maybe in 10 or like he's going up to the manager being like, hey, do you know when
I was being professional. You can just say the one word. I was being professional.
You'd be a very, very on point, very professional, but in a way as if you didn't just escape death. And so then I'm standing there like just staring in front of me and and you're like, okay, good. And capacity's good. Like, just.
Well, because we were getting there like right at showtime, and we were bringing food to the staff too, wasn't it that day? Yeah. So we were like, I also wanted to make sure like we got that part done, and then got backstage to the green room and stuff. I was just shifting into work mode once we got there. I wasn't.
Whatever, man. That was upsetting.
Don't worry. After my set, I was contemplating my life and mortality, but that's just because that first one I didn't feel great. But
no, it was terrible.
Damn. Yeah, I didn't think about that at all.
Yeah, I wonder how they had the Uber papers come out this week. Have you seen that?
No, what was that?
Oh, it's pretty horrible.
Tell me about it.
I don't even know enough about it to talk about it at length, but basically there are these internal papers that I guess got leaked or they're maybe court documents on a lawsuit or something, but basically the public now knows that Uber knows as they expand that they're like crushing the economies of like the places that they move into as far as like the gig economy there.
Right,
like,
yeah.
Like they already know. They're smart enough to have done the math to know that you're not going to really make the money that people assume they're going to make. And then there's also something about how they leveraged a thing going on in South Africa where the cab drivers there were getting very like agitated and sometimes maybe even violent around Uber moving there and everything.
Oh, okay.
And they leverage that to be like, see, why do these people not want you to have good prices? Like it was kind of like
it was vilifying them.
Yeah, and so they've done a lot of stuff like that a few times, and it's all in these documents, and it's kind of crazy. So I wonder if there's just a floating document out there of like, hey, Sam can't see, right? Like, I would love if it's all like super technical corporate stuff, and then just this thing about this one driver who's been driving people around with not the best eyesight.
And he also keeps telling people.
He tells people, he's so honest, he tells every ride he's been in.
His driving is fine. He needs to just stop telling people.
These eyes are not it.
They wouldn't be worried about it if he didn't tell them.
Yeah.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. So that has also been on my mind, along with the...
those two things in tandem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you took the Uber. You were quiet in the Uber.
Correct.
What was the experience like from then to now? So you took the Uber late to get to your Airbnb.
Right. Yeah, because we didn't get into town till like a quarter to midnight or something. So,
Okay.
So then we just got to the Airbnb and we just, I don't know, went to bed, and then we had a pretty lazy day today because we were here all week. Well, I'm here for 3 weeks, but Jess is here for the whole week too. And then, today we didn't really do much that's worthy of a story. I don't know.
No, it doesn't.
Had a good sandwich.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be worthy of a story.
That's about it.
You're gonna probably have plenty by the time you.
Oh, by the time I leave here, I'm gonna be a changed man.
Yeah, I feel like it is getting a bit more intense in the time since you were last here.
Oh, good, Jess, you hear that? It's more intense now. Does that excite you? Okay, good. Yeah, she's nodding. She looks very excited and not worried at all.
There's a level of tense that's here now that's just a bit extra, where it's like,
what, like in what way? What are you noticing? This I wish she wasn't in the room. She is not happy.
Well, I was on the train. I think all three of these are going to be on the train. I was on the train.
Three of these,
and,
three intense stories.
This guy was talking to himself, and he was talking to himself very aggressively. So whatever he was going on in his head, even if he was a wild dude just talking to himself, he was not being kind to himself in these moments, you know? So whatever inner demon he was talking to, he was calling it by its demon name. Like, he was cursing up a storm at himself. He's really like looking down.
Whatever argument he was having in his head, he was losing. It's rare you lose the arguments in your own head, but he found a way.
And then this random guy is like, "What'd you say to me? What'd you say to me?" And then he looked up and he was like, "Not talking to you, dog. Talking to me." And the other guy was like, "Oh, okay then." And then they both carried on being very angry and quiet.
Now
and it's like,
that is actually, that's a beautiful story in my mind.
Oh, there's a moment where it's not beautiful, where you think they're definitely about to bite each other.
Oh, no, for sure.
It was so... for no reason, because it's not like the guy was being like hella loud,
right?
So that other guy had to be loud to get his attention, to be like, "What are you? Who are you talking to?" And the guy was like, "I'm talking to myself."
Right.
And the thing that I appreciate most about that thing is that initially I thought this dude was like out of his mind,
right?
You know what I mean? And then it's nice when someone is out of their mind, and then they snap. What's up?
Hold on. No, the camera went out of focus because I moved. It freaked out. I had to get my phone, and it freaked.
It's
speaking of glasses, there we go. Look good. All right.
It's nice when someone is like out of their mind and they actually snap into it for a second.
Yeah, especially there, he snapped into it to alleviate a potential conflict. That's rare.
Yeah.
That's super rare.
I feel like before, he would have just talked to himself and no one would have said anything. I feel like that other guy clearly wanted a fight.
So the other guy is the new tension.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Just not letting him be and do his thing.
Yeah. And then also, this is maybe when I came back from Arlington, there was a guy who had a bag of sodas, right? But not like a bag full of cans of soda. I'm talking about he had a genuine bag full of liquid.
Full of loose soda.
Full of loose soda. So he had a bag of soda that was like clearly a bunch of sodas.
Right.
Because it wasn't dark brown enough to be just Coke, but it was light brown. and it was like okay, this looks like it could be. I mean, maybe it was RC. Who knows?
I was going to say the RC or maybe a Lipton iced tea.
But it seems like a bunch of sodas.
A bunch of something you don't want him spilling
in
right
this
now.
clear bag. Yeah. And the bag, I don't know how this man did it, but the bag is tight. The bag is like...
So you say a clear bag is like a clear shopping bag? Or
a clear shopping bag.
like tied up in a knot up top?
Full of soda.
Like
where you can see the bubbles.
So it's definitely carbonated.
It's definitely carbonated because you can see the bubbles. He's just got like a bag of soda. I feel like I've told you about something like this happening before because I know one time I was around this dude whose soda spilled in his bag and then it was like full of soda. But this is
that one I remember. But this is pre-spilled in the bag. This is intentionally poured.
No, this
in
is
the
intentionally all in the bag. There's nothing in this bag but soda,
and especially in a shopping bag too, and then like tied up like a bindle sack.
Yeah, in a knot
to hop the rails.
Yeah, in a knot. There's just this huge bag.
That's wonderful
of soda, and basically, he's not like being careless with it. I need to point that out. It's not like this dude
This is precious cargo.
Yeah, it's not like this dude is trying to be reckless and dangerous with this bag, right? Not threatening anybody with the bag, anything, but. He's walking up and down the train car, and so everyone that's on the train car for more than a couple stops is noticing that this is a bag of soda.
It's hard to not notice, I would gather.
Yeah. And we all just get tennis ball eyes. You know, like in a Wimbledon match where you see the heads go, like we're all just watching the bag go back and forth because everyone is perplexed where it's like, okay, so is this bag about to pop or spill or whatever, right?
Yeah. And then after that is then just why. Why and how.
We're all I'm
gonna have to clear the music that drives by every now and then. Hopefully we don't get a copyright strike because of the random vehicles driving by.
I think it needs to be more than 3 seconds to be a copyright issue.
It does, I think. I think we're safe.
Unless somebody just parks, decides to yell up, and you hear nothing but the new Pusha T album.
And then I just we'll yell out then and be like, "Can you guys put on something royalty free, please? Thank you.
Just some jazz, please.
Some jazz, some itsy bitsy spider. Some
that's not gonna help us.
Happy birthday over and over again.
Maybe
that only became public domain a few years ago.
So there's this bag.
Sure.
And in the bag is like swashing. So it's not like it's tight to the point where there's no movement of the liquid.
That would be very impressive.
It would be.
If it was airtight in a bag like that.
If it was just a bubble with handles, that'd be fire.
That'd be amazing.
Yeah. It's almost that, but there's just enough room for a little bit of swashing.
He has not perfected it yet.
And so he's going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and we're just wondering whose day is going to be ruined because when this bag goes, it's gonna take a couple people with it.
This is an unfortunate game show.
It's getting to the point where as he's pacing back and forth, and it looked like, I don't know if this is going to make sense, but he looks like someone who would have a bag of soda. Like I don't know how better to describe it, except he looks like a person who would have a bag of liquid that is tied up, and he's gonna open it and I guess pour it on his head later, or just stab it with a straw and go to town.
Boy, that would be the best if he just pulled out and then drank the whole bag.
Yeah,
would be amazing. But no,
people do that with they don't stab it, but sometimes you can catch somebody with like a box wine, which is basically just a bag of wine. Just
those little ones.
Yeah, just
Oh, for sure. Know? Yeah, no, that makes sense. It's meant for that. You can do that, but not your homemade soda Capri Sun that you've made. And but here's the thing: I'm trying to imagine what he looks like, and I have an idea, but I have a feeling if I saw him, I'd be like, okay.
Also, should point out, there was a point where when I saw him with the bag, I obviously saw the carbonation, the bubbles, everything, but there was a split second where I was like, that man is like, I thought there was a bag of pee, and I thought that he was very sick. Because if your pee is carbonated, you have too much cola.
Well, and it's that dark too. That man is dehydrated.
That man is dying.
That man, I don't know how he filled a bag by being that dehydrated.
I honestly think he must be taking this bag to the doctor to be like, listen,
this is how much comes out, and it's this color.
Yeah.
What do I do?
Also, it's fizzy. So
it's fizzy too.
If you can tell me what new thing I have, that would be great. And so basically, we're watching this dude up and down, up and down, up and down, and then finally this guy gets on with an umbrella, and just perfectly, as this dude is shaking out and tying up the strap of the umbrella and turning around, he turns into the guy with the bag of soda. And you know the little spikes that are completely unnecessary on umbrellas?
Yeah.
You know those things that don't help stop the rain at all? I don't know why there's spiked ends to every umbrella that's ever been invented.
The Mad Max part of the umbrella. Yeah.
And
you never know.
He turns in and the whole bag just goes. So it's like it
so clearly a thin bag too. Took barely any.
I think it is exactly one Walgreens bag. That this dude has filled with soda. I'm surprised it wasn't dripping.
Yeah. That's the thing. If it was that ready to pop by being just touched by an umbrella.
Yeah, so he touches with the umbrella, the thing starts to go. And a bunch of people shoot up and walk away from the splash zone. But that guy that was I felt so bad for the guy with the umbrella because he literally has it so he doesn't get wet. And now this dude's calves are covered in cola.
Now he's wet and sticky, which you don't get from the rain.
Yeah. Now he needs rain.
Yeah. Now he's going to go outside and he's like, fuck, I really wish it was raining.
Now he's just going to go outside, back of the leg first, moonwalking in the rain to try to get some of this sticky. Because this guy doesn't know what it is.
To travel.
This guy just got on the train. 1 second, let me check on him.
That's all right. Dog break.
Should we pause the video since it's going to get weird when I get
Sure. I'll just say dog break.
Okay, 1 second.
We're back from the dog break.
Yeah. What was I even talking about? Oh, the bag.
We actually took a break on a cliffhanger there. What will happen next with the bag of soda? Stay tuned.
So the bag explodes like...
It popped. It didn't just leak.
No, it didn't just leak.
Because that would have been very funny.
Because
he would have tried to catch it and it would have still been dripping, and then another one would have poked open.
My man, this dude's bag.
This was a water balloon, soda balloon.
It really split, and so then it just is rushing. And honestly,
a torrent, if you will.
Honestly, more full than I gave it credit for.
He got a lot of soda in that bag.
He got so much soda in the bag that, like, so much came out it felt like a cartoon. Like, so much came out that I was like, how is it still? And then the guy feeling it is terrified. Like
yeah,
this is a true nightmare to just have something like
wet on the subway,
and sticky,
warm.
Yeah,
was this heated up?
I mean, I don't think it was heated up, but if you're walking around with a bag of soda, I can't imagine you're keeping it cold.
Yeah, that's fair. So he filled this a while ago, and then which would be impressive if he had it all day, and this is the first trouble he's run into.
Yeah.
Or maybe the initial trouble was why it ended up in the bag. He was carrying a 12-pack, and then they all burst somehow.
I don't know who I feel worse for. Because if you're carrying a bag of soda, that means it's your only option. You don't have another container, you'd use it.
And it also means that soda is important to you. Mm-hmm. This soda means a lot.
I'd like to think he made it himself.
That's a whole other upsetting scenario, that this is his homemade soda. He finally had the meeting with the big soda company for them to sample his flavor. And he didn't realize, like, oh, I just ran out of my last bottle.
I just ran out of
What
my
do I
last
have?
bottle. Maybe they like plastic flavor.
I need to get down there so they can sample it and it can be in stores. Oh, no!
And so then, basically, that guy freaks out. A bunch of people jump away. It reminded me of, remember when we saw that lady throw up?
I think about it every day.
It was exactly like that, where people calmly ran away.
Just
like
yep,
they calmly rushed away.
Yeah. Yeah, because that lady vomiting was that she just did it very calmly, and we're all like, well, all right, this is what's happening. We'll all scoot.
I know we've talked about it on the podcast
We
before,
absolutely have.
But what I love about that lady vomiting is that she went there, sat down with just a bunch of meat she just bought.
Yeah, because it looked like
She had a bunch of ground turkey.
She just had like some sort of. It didn't seem like the bag she bought it out of either, right?
No,
that also seemed like just a bag of meat.
Yeah.
That was she eating? I'm not sure.
Yeah.
And that's why she threw up. You're not supposed to eat raw ground beef on a moving train.
I mean, too many stories converge in New York. Like, every place should have one of these people. You know? There should be a soda guy in one state. There should be a meat lady in another state. They can't all be here.
Well, this is where they come from. Then they spread out from here.
Yeah, it's really upsetting.
And then, like, now you just have a train full of soda, too. Because now that whole area is just wet.
Oh, yeah. Everyone that's been to or lives in New York knows what I mean when this happens. It doesn't happen every day, thank God. But there will be a time where you're on the train and someone's bottle or can has spilled. And so now we're all with our eyes watching the trail, the uneven trail that the liquid makes. And you're checking, is that liquid coming to me? Is it taking a left? Is it going straight?
Yep.
And
I wish I was better at physics. Wish I knew more about fluid dynamics to know where this is going to go.
I don't know how that would help in this situation.
I feel like you could look at it, now you could have an idea of maybe what grooves,
Yeah, that's also when you know you've been taking the train too much, when you're like, oh, we at Hoyt Skimmerhorn, this liquid about to take a left. No one wants to be that well versed in something that nasty. But the train was full of, like, I had to get on a different car, which I should have done.
Yeah, but
earlier, but I wanted to see the end.
Exactly. No,
I just wanted to see it pop. That's why we all stayed on.
Absolutely.
We were like, who fills a bag with that much liquid and gets away with it?
Because honestly, even yourself, you're like, even if it's me, this is going to be a hell of a story. Like,
yeah.
But like, yeah, that's, of course you stayed to see if it was going to pop.
I mean, if it was me, I think I'd be in jail. I don't think I would just let someone leak hot soda all over me and not lay hands on them.
So you would have beaten the man with your umbrella.
I think I would have tried to choke him.
Wow.
I think
wow.
I'm not a violent person, but it's so random that I think you're allowed to lay hands at that point.
It's so random you're allowed a random act of violence.
It's so odd and so rare that I think even a monk would be like, I renounce all violence except if I'm on a train and someone splits a bag of hot cola all over my ankles. Then I can go to town on them.
I am against violence unless you fucking spill on me. And then it's on.
Then it's on.
Otherwise, I will not crush a fly, but I will not be sticky.
Yeah. I won't even be mean to a cat, but if you get cola all over my calves, it's over, kid. I'm going to jail.
So then what was, I know then everyone like left. How sad was the soda man?
No, he was disappointed.
I was absolutely. Did he just sit there with his torn bag, just looking?
No.
That sad Charlie Brown music comes in.
That dude screamed no way too loud, and then that was sort of it.
Was it a short no, or was it like a no?
It was pretty long.
Oh, good. It was a good
being,
dramatic no.
It stopped being no, and then just started being screaming.
Oh, that's a good no. No.
Yeah. It was wild. I was not a fan at all. Because now it's wet, sticky, and loud in here. I was so upset.
By the way, I'm filming a new special. It's going to be called Wet, Sticky, and Loud. That's going to be the title.
Sounds great.
How did Umbrella Man react? I mean, obviously he was disappointed. Did he shout or did
he was also screaming.
He was also screaming.
Yeah. For him, you have to keep in mind that for him, he's just got on the train and he's closed his umbrella.
Yeah.
And then he feels however that soda felt. I just made it hot in my head. Maybe it wasn't hot.
Either way, if you step onto a train and the first thing that happens is your legs get wet, you just have to assume someone is pissing on you.
And so
you've walked into a current of piss.
Because he looked dry, you could see his brain break for a second.
Oh, absolutely.
Where he's like, no, I'm inside. How am I getting this wet inside?
I didn't see a bunch of water flow out, so I surely didn't step into...
There's no way this should be happening.
Yeah.
And then he turned around, he saw the bag, and he just started screaming. But he was screaming more like, what the hell, what the hell, what the hell?
Absolutely. Well, I'm sure that he wants to say, what is that?
Yeah.
What did you just get on me?
Yeah.
But his brain probably can't even put that together.
Because, I mean, it's in his shoes. Like,
I honestly...
It's legit everywhere.
Josh, I didn't even think about it being in his shoes. I was literally only thinking of it on the legs. And now his shoes are filled with soda.
Yeah.
And he just has to just walk his way.
Yeah. Yeah.
To, I think, a fire to throw his clothes and shoes into.
Just do a duck
for
walk
safety.
home. I hope he was going home. That'd be terrible if he was
he's on the way to
his
work.
Way to dinner.
Oh no, I've got a hinge date.
Yeah.
And I have to explain why from the knee down I'm wet and making squelching sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. And then the third thing.
Yeah.
The third thing was I feel bad because I laughed at this really hard and I shouldn't have. Because everybody's different.
Right.
So I shouldn't have laughed, but it was my first reaction. Basically, I was on the train platform now, and this person was using the elevator that's on the train. Now, not every station is wheelchair accessible, but a lot of them are, so you can use the elevator. Some parents use the elevator for their stroller.
Yeah.
So, this woman...
For the ones who don't want the kids to have a really fun ride.
Yeah. 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 For people who want unshaken baby.
Wee!
So, this woman walks out of the elevator, which is already... I'm always surprised when the elevator opens because I'm surprised anyone would take it. Like, I actually think it would be cleaner to just crawl up the steps than to be in that elevator.
Right.
Because that elevator is now a closed space of nastiness.
Yeah.
And a tight closed space.
And they don't move quick either. You get in and they sit there for a second.
If you smell something, you're going to be smelling it for a while.
That is your smell now.
And so this lady gets off the elevator and she's pushing the stroller along. I don't know what bump she hit. I don't know. I did not see what caused this, but her stroller starts to tip to the side. And as it's tipping, she doesn't seem to be paying attention to the tip. So as it's tipping, she's still just pushing, but there's definitely been a bounce on the left side to where it's like, it looks like it's about to go. And then she essentially just starts letting it fall over, and it's not until her hands are maybe like a little too at an angle, like just a little too curved,
right,
that she realizes like, oh, it's going. And so then she tries to save it. But whatever's in the carriage already starts spilling out. So it looks like this kid is about to fall out from the overcorrection.
Okay, the way you worded that, just like whatever is in the carriage, just like, and that is also soda.
Yeah, it'd be amazing if that was also just a bag of soda,
a carriage full of soda.
This is what people do now. We just haven't caught on.
Listen, we're trying to save the environment. Okay, we're getting rid of plastic. So now, sorry, you got loose soda now.
Yeah,
That's how it works.
No more bottles, just plastic bags.
You bring what you got.
Those aren't worse at all. Those aren't somehow less reusable.
Well, you're reused. Yeah, exactly. You're bringing them in. Mm-hmm. You go down to the soda store, get whatever container filled, and then you can go home. We'll fill whatever you got.
Yeah. Yeah.
We charge by weight here at this store.
So then overcorrects. It looks like the baby is gonna tip out anyway. Mm-hmm. A different lady who sees the whole thing happen screams because now the baby's about to like hit the platform. Jeez. And once a baby hits the platform, you're done with that baby.
Jesus, Josh.
No, but I'm saying that's an unusable baby now. Like, tell me that's a level of germs that baby's encountered now that it'll never be the same.
Oh, you're going off of germs. I thought we were going off of the
what?
The impact.
No. If a baby's face touches a platform floor on the train, that's going to be a different person now.
Our prior. Well, yeah. It's
Tell me I'm wrong. That's going to be.
No. You're not wrong, but you're right, but for the wrong reason.
I'm just saying. It's like
I'm just saying they have soft heads. Is where I'm coming.
I wouldn't
from.
even talk like this if when I was a baby, my face had touched the floor of the platform on the train. God. I'd be a hardened individual. I'd have a deeper voice. You're gonna have a different life because just the film alone that's on the platform of the train. Ugh. You've basically been kicked in the face by every shoe in New York if you let your face touch the platform and you're a baby.
Right.
To be fair, if you're a baby and your face touches the platform, it's only up from here. You know what I mean? You're not going to have a worse life than that.
You just had the worst moment of your life. But you might not be old enough to know it, to appreciate that you've already had rock bottom.
Never mind knowing it. It's happened. You're never going to have something this bad happen again.
Right. But then someone's got to remind you.
Yeah. And so then this other lady screams. The woman stops trying to overcorrect the stroller now and just goes to try to catch the baby.
Oh.
Hopelessly behind on the hands. The hands were not fast enough. And then you actually hear like a slight splat. And then people start running up to her, and it's a dog.
It wasn't a baby in the carriage? It was a dog?
No, this is a puppy.
Okay.
She had a dog in the carriage.
Okay.
The entire time.
Okay.
And the way that some people lost concern and the way that some people got angrier was amazing to watch.
I bet I can tell you racially
who felt what.
Yeah, I can tell you exactly what camps.
The amount of people, because we're also only talking about like 5-7 people, so it's not like the entire train ran to check on this woman. Yeah. But the amount of people that ran up and like it happened to me as well because I didn't run, but I just was walking towards see if they needed help. And I wish I could see the face I made before I realized it was a dog. Because when you think it's a baby and it's a dog, it messes with your brain in a way that you're not even registering the little like limbs that you're seeing.
Yeah. And
because as I got closer, I was like, this is a hairy baby.
That's what touching the floor does is you
you immediately morph. That's one of the Animorphs. It's just train kids.
That's what they have in the prequel they did to Animorphs. They get the power by licking a subway floor is what happens.
And so I'm like, even as I'm kind of like walking over there, like, I'm embarrassed to say I didn't run to help. But even as I'm sort of lightly strolling over to see if anybody needs help or, like what the damage is, anything, I'm just seeing now, because it was still as well, which didn't help because now
that's a jarring visual.
Yeah. And it doesn't seem hurt because when it gets up, it just shakes and it's
a puppy,
fine.
And it's just like, what happened?
Yeah, but for us, we're like, oh my gosh, that baby!
Oh no, that furry baby died!
Oh no, that ugly baby! Like it's like the order that things went was like oh no, that baby. Then it was, oh no, that ugly baby. Then it was, oh no. And then it was, oh. And then for some people it was,
and then if you're white, it was, oh.
Mm-hmm. Like one guy got particularly mad at her. Like she did drop a baby.
Like she tipped it on purpose, or
no? He was like being weird about it. It's like, it's okay. Like he was like checking on it, but he was like weird with her.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people didn't even make it far enough to, I guess, really see that it was a puppy. As soon as they saw something get up on 4, they were like, I don't want any part of that.
Nope, this lady's got a carriage full of rats. I'm out here.
Yeah. But yeah, the amount of people that switched.
That's
like, it wasn't half, but it was like 3. And I was not one of them.
No.
Like I actually, sadly, I kept the same amount of care the entire time. Like for me, I was like,
yeah, Josh, you maybe lived here a little too long.
Yeah, because for me, I was like, oh no, that baby fell. Because I've seen babies fall before.
Like that?
Like this wasn't a tall, like it's not like a Tom and Jerry tall stroller or anything. It's just
Tom and Jerry stroller.
Do you know the ones that look like they're from the 50s? Yeah, they're really high.
Yeah, the old school.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't think of the.
It wasn't one of those.
They have a specific name, don't they?
So it's literally like dropping it 1.5 feet.
So it was like an actual, like a modern baby stroller where it's like just like a little seat you're pushing.
Yeah. So I was like, oh,
that's already not made for dogs.
Yeah. Yeah.
No wonder the dog fell out of it.
No wonder that white guy was mad.
Don't do that. Just walk it.
Yeah.
It's got so many legs.
Mm-hmm.
It can walk.
Its paws are made for dirt.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
That one was a roller coaster. I'll say that. That was a journey of a story. I felt like I fell out of a baby carriage.
Yeah. Hopefully our listeners are still with us and not like, you lost me at baby carriage.
That's the thing. I do want to know if some turned it off the second you were like, this baby carriage was tipping.
Yeah.
Probably when you said, then you can't use that baby anymore. So maybe they're like, okay, this is a story. This is a story about a baby getting injured.
No, I'm just saying it's like that's a different kid. It's a hardened child now.
Yeah, sorry. That kid's the parent now. Sorry, you answer to it. Should we open up the mailbag, my dude?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do that. I do want to go to. We had some Instagram questions that were sent to me. Hi, Logan. This is probably a really weird thing to do because I don't know you or Josh personally, but I find myself in need of advice. We don't really get asked like straight up advice a lot. Yeah. So I thought this would be interesting to see how we fuck this up. You and Josh talk about relationships a lot on the podcast. I really love the show. I listen to the episodes on repeat because they help make me feel less anxious when my thoughts are swirling. I'm also the one who wrote in with the story about the class hamster that got eaten by the class snake.
Oh, killing him. Yeah.
Killing him. So, this is a little personal, but I've been with someone, we both really like each other, but we have some love language clashes that keep making things hard. So I guess what I'd like to ask is, how do you know that it's worth the struggle to stay with someone? Is it normal to have to continually work on things? As someone with anxiety, do you have it about your relationship, even though it's a strong one? Also, I'm a total stranger, and I understand if you and Josh don't want to answer these.
Do you want to go first?
If you got something, go for it.
Oh, okay.
This will be fun to answer too with my girlfriend staring at me. So this will be a very interesting experiment for me.
I personally don't believe in love languages. I
really thought he was just going to end at love, and I was going to be like, whoa.
No, I think it was a.
We've talked about that before too. That neither of us are really.
Yeah, because my thing is, at the end of the day, no one actually has to be nice to you, and so when someone is kind to you in the way that they are best able or best know how to be kind, it's actually a really dickish thing to be like, yeah, but it's not the way I like it. It's like, that's wild. Like if someone, I understand that not every gift is going to be received in the way that it was intended, and not every gesture is going to be understood in the way that was intended. But you can't tell me that it's not actually kind of a pretty bad move to be getting all of something from someone and then be like, yeah, but it's not the one I want, so it doesn't count. That's kind of wild. Like, I'm not saying that that's what this person is doing.
Right.
I'm just saying that what quickly happened with love languages, it started out as a good way to almost like a fun little personality test and a good way to communicate.
And like a shorthand that you could have to kind of to classify some things.
Yeah.
Which, for that, it was okay.
And what it quickly turned into was a way for a lot of people to be kind of bratty. You know what I mean? Like I just and I think that my and I could be wrong about this, but I find that like it is a way to sidestep appreciation and like gratitude for the person, even if that's not what you like. Just like I'm not even talking about your relationship or anything. I'm saying in the world, imagine a world where someone comes home to because we have these like physical touch, acts of service,
gift giving,
all that stuff like that.
Yeah.
Imagine a person comes home to a fully cooked meal and their favorite movie on cue to watch, and their reaction is, "It's not a blowjob, though." That's not a good person. That's not that like, and I worry that more and more people are going to fall into that type of thinking, even though it's not exactly that. Because to me, love languages have quickly been like overused. It's kind of how people self-describe as whatever the hot thing is that year. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's sometimes it's I don't know. It's like almost like a. I think we talked about this too when we did the relationship quiz episode that we did, where it is kind of a step right next to like astrology, where it's like, oh, you were born during this month, we're not going to get along, and it's like, well, you haven't even met me yet.
Yeah, and also we don't know, like for the love language thing, I'm sure that the best of each one of those things is too dope to turn down. You know what I mean? So if I love a person and my act of service is taking them for a weekend to their favorite city on a private jet, I don't think they're going to be like, it's not physical touch.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, and I want to, so I'm going to take a slight counterpoint. I agree with what you're saying, but also on the other side of that, of the clash of love languages, where I agree with you that like, to me, they don't mean the same thing they do to some people, whatever. But I have been in the relationship where I have dated someone and told them, be like, hey, please stop just giving me presents all the time. Like, I don't really want all this stuff. But they're like, but it's my love language. And so they just kept doing it. Like, when you hit that point, then yes, it can become an issue. So like, if they're not respecting you saying like, oh, I would prefer this. If you guys have talked about it and there's not a mutual respect to how each other, because sometimes I think people get focused so much on what love languages are and how they show it, but don't always consider how it's received to other people.
Yeah.
It's more about like, well, this is how I show love, so you have to be okay with it. It's like, well, yeah, but sometimes it's too much. Some people don't like public, PDA or anything.
Sure.
Or they like a lot of alone time or whatever, and that's a balance you have to find. So I think if they're not respecting it, then yeah, I think that's an issue.
Yeah, that then lends itself to a different thing than what I'm talking about specifically.
No, and I know what you mean. I was just but as also the thing too of like, do relationships take a lot of work? Do they continue being work? Yeah. Not in like it shouldn't be like a fight every day. It shouldn't be like, I think we've got to this point because I think it's particularly our generation. We were kind of the last generation with parents who were just like, you just stay together, okay? It was like the generation before us was the first ones who started like actually divorcing if things weren't good. You know what I mean? But before that, it wasn't really.
Yeah.
You just stayed together and you're just like, yeah, marriage sucks and you just have to deal with it. Okay. There was a lot of that. And I think our generation went the counterpoint of trying to be like, you know what, but everyone has their own thing. But a lot of us convinced ourselves that relationships don't take work. And they do. You're living with a person.
Yeah.
You are spending all of your time with another human being who is completely different from you. Even if you're similar, they're a completely different person. Yeah, you're going to clash. You're going to have issues, but it's how you resolve the issues,
Yeah, I think
Hi, Jess.
I think that for a good portion of it, the other thing to keep in mind with your overall question is that I think I've talked about this on podcasts before and with friends before, but to me, the world overall is, especially if you talk about, like, I don't know if they're writing in from the States or not, but a lot of the world is easier to live in than it's ever been. Right, so you used to have to hunt or farm. You used to have to like worry about a harvest. You used to have to plan more to eat.
I'm excited to see where this point goes.
But like being in an interpersonal relationship is as hard as it's ever been. So it's as hard to raise a child as it's ever been, and it's as hard to stay with a person as it's ever been. But as the other things get so much easier and easier and easier, now the distance between like being in a relationship and staying in one and the other hard things that you have to do in your day is actually getting further and further away, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. And because of that, there's almost a lack of practice with doing hard things that then makes it feel like, oh, wow, if this thing is such an inconvenience in my life, maybe I should just get rid of it. Because a lot of inconveniences to our lives do either get solved or we get rid of them, whether it's through like money or the way we do things. So you used to have to walk. If you want to get there, you got to walk. Mm-hmm. Then we had horses. Then we had cars. Then you had to have a car. Now it's, I need to get over there, and I don't want to take the train or the bus or what. I'm just going to order an Uber.
Let me use my magic pocket computer and have a driver come get me.
Yeah. But another person not understanding what you're saying when you try to tell them as plainly as possible is as hard as it's ever been.
Right.
So that's staying the same. And and I'm not saying people's lives aren't hard or because we have tech, it's not. It's an easy life. I'm just saying that so many problems are getting solved all day, and little problems, things that you might not even consider a real problem. You don't even have to think about. You can now order something. You can get you don't even have to read the manual and put the bookshelf together. You can hire a TaskRabbit and they'll come to your house and put it together for you. I'm saying that the thing of raising a person or being in a relationship, those things are still very difficult.
Oh, for sure.
And that threshold is getting harder and harder for anything in your life to match with outside of maybe work stuff.
Yeah. Well, and I think too we focus more on, I guess being more mentally healthy in relationships than we ever used to. That used to never be a conversation about how to like maintain your mental health in a relationship.
It used to literally just be, do they hit?
Yeah.
And then that's
and then
it.
The next question was a lot.
Yeah.
And then
it's like, bro, she not hitting you. She all right.
Yeah. So it was always that. So I think now this is the first time we're in like human history, we're like really taking the time to be like, oh, is my mental health good around this person? Mm-hmm. People used to never ask themselves that question. It was just like, I'm with this person and that is how it is. Yeah. Is how that used to be.
It used to just be, I cry after I cook and that's just life.
Yeah, and I guess that's what it is, huh?
It's like, oof.
Another day. Yeah. But so I think also with that, and that's a good thing. I'm not saying that is a bad thing. That is a good thing that we're doing. I think we don't quite, it's kind of like you said, we just don't know how to balance that yet. And so I think sometimes when we realize like, oh, this relationship's kind of stressful, I should probably just get out of it. And it's like, and sometimes, yes, I'm not going to say like, you should stay in all of them. No, like, get out of it if it's like you feel bad all the time, especially if like if the person comes home and that elevates you and makes you feel bad, that's probably your sign. But if it's like, oh, when we're working on issues, I'm stressed out. Well, that is going to be stressful. That's going to be a stressful thing. And sometimes, though, that's very much... Sorry, just got something in my eye. Ow. Sometimes that is very much worth the stress. If I can go ahead, since you're here, to use us as an example, like, we've had some, not like issues of necessarily fighting, but like where we want to end up, where we want to move, career stuff, whatever. Yes, sometimes that leads to a lot of stress. We've had, not too long ago, we had like a whole week where we were just stressed out. We weren't necessarily fighting, but we were just stressed. And then we talked more about it and we not only talked more about what we wanted together, but we wanted more, even just personally on our own. And honestly, over that, I feel like we got over the hump. We found something that felt good to both of us. And now I feel like we're more confident than we were before that. So sometimes it is worth dealing with those hard discussions.
Yeah. I mean,
Jess, huh? Thoughts?
I agree with that.
She agrees with that.
Yeah. I feel like sometimes a hard thing is just better to do. That doesn't mean stay with someone if it doesn't feel right. It doesn't mean that you have to put up with anything that's toxic. But the payoff of fixing things, especially when something is good, is like it's hard to compare with.
Yeah,
it's.
You feel it's like a team pride. You're like, we did that.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah. Go Wolverines. Like, you get really excited. We call ourselves the Wolverines.
Oh, okay.
Good
to know.
We don't. But I will say, too, in this message, it sounds like it's something that you guys are talking about. So you're already in a great place. If you weren't talking about any of this at all, then you might have
You'd
an
also
issue.
be sending a different message. You'd be like, hey, how do I get out? How do I do it in the middle of the night, or when should I leave?
Yeah. Do you guys have a couch I can crash on?
Yeah.
That would be a totally different thing. So we hope that helps. Again, I don't know.
Yeah, if anything that I said
I got
helped.
divorced at 25, so maybe don't listen to anything I say too. Maybe that too. Let me just put that out there.
Yeah, but I also I feel like if I said anything that helped, like definitely grab some of that. If something I said didn't make sense, guys, I brought up horses at one point. So just like whatever worked, use it, and whatever.
We're saying buy a horse, I think, is what we're leaning on. You should get a horse.
If you buy a horse together, it'll bring you together. Can you imagine a horse in a studio apartment in New York just kicking TVs?
It's like the people who try to get a dog, be like, this might, fix things between us. Now make that dog
a horse
15 times larger.
Yeah. I mean, you definitely won't be focused on your problems. You'll be focused on not getting kicked.
Just motion, maybe a mini horse. Yeah, that would be so much better to still have in your apartment.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. I know we're running a little longer, but since we're crushing it on the advice front, this ties back to an interaction we had at one of our recent live virtual shows.
Okay.
So this is from sometimes I get confused when the email is one name, but then they use a different name, and it takes me a second to register what I'm doing. But this is from Naya, and the title of this email is Advice. And hi, Josh and Logan. This is Naya, a.k.a. the girl whose grandfather yelled at you all about tattoos. Yeah, we got her grandpa yelled scripture at us about tattoos during the live virtual show.
And he went for a bit.
He was very adamant that you should not have that on your skin. I jokingly said someone had a tattoo in their mouth, and he went, "Oh no." just sitting in the background on a couch. So those live shows are very fun. But I never got to ask my actual questions, which wasn't about tattoos. I think they asked about tattoos when the grandpa walked in.
And he just heard him and he just went.
But so I've been living with my grandparents for almost a year, and I love them. I do, but I can't do it for too much longer without losing my mind.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, surprising. I have found a job and a place in New Jersey, but I don't know how to tell them. I am supposed to be leaving in the beginning of August. What should I do? Thanks in advance if you can still help a bit, but if you can't, thanks. P.S. Josh, we really need to have a discussion about your first tattoo. I'm thinking Logan's initials, Naya. I could not agree more. Either my face or...
Whatever you do when you tell your grandparents, do it lovingly and without a tattoo. Like, I feel like if you do it with a tattoo,
I disagree. I think tattoo it on your arm. I'm moving out. I think is what you should get.
That's going to be too much for them. All right.
Well, they might be focused on the tattoo part. Then the news will be it'll kind of soften the blow.
Yeah, you're just trying to get her kicked out.
I'm kidding.
You're trying to get her kicked out so that it's easier to move to New Jersey.
I mean, I know this makes it maybe tougher because you do have this like deadline at which you do, and maybe you've already done it. I don't know. But like, you already have it in motion. You already have the place. You have the job. So even if they're not okay with it, you still get to do it. Mm-hmm. And I know it doesn't necessarily make it better, but you at least now have that, you get to know that in your head that like, well, no, I'm already doing it. And when that's part of when you tell them, you're like, well, I've already made, not only have I made this decision, I've already put all the gears in motion for this. And so I hope you guys can be okay with it. Mm-hmm. But this is what I'm doing next. Mm-hmm. And they may not take it well. They may not. And I think a hard thing, especially with, with parents, with grandparents, the hardest thing is like, yeah, they might not take it well, but it's not really up to them. And that sucks. I mean, but they love you, so they'll come back around.
Also, who knows? They might be excited, like not in a way that they don't want you around, but just in a way of like, okay, this is nice. It's gonna be different, but it's also nice. It's nice to have your place with your partner, but it's also nice to have family there. But
really build up the excitement of the opportunity, maybe.
Yeah,
and you might be able to hype them up too.
Yeah,
of being like, this is good for you. You seem really excited.
They'll be like, get out now.
Yeah, go.
Leave.
Why wait till August? Mm-hmm. Go wait in front of the place.
Yeah.
Go do it.
Well,
and especially, it also sounds like you haven't lived with them like forever. You said about the last year.
Yeah, so they're also used to not living.
Yeah, they know a life without you there. Yeah. So it'd be weird if now they're like, nope, you're never leaving now.
And then they lock the door. Thanks so much, Naya, for writing in. We appreciate you.
And we hope that helped. I'm not sure. That one, I'm not sure if we helped.
I'd love to have a talk with your grandfather.
He seemed great, actually.
Yeah, he seems really fun. He seems like one of those dudes that's exhausted with stuff, and he's done holding his tongue about it.
Well, that was the thing, too. As much as he did just start yelling Bible quotes at us, at the end, we started just kind of messing with him, and he was also, like, playful back.
Yeah.
Because I told him, I said, hey, come to Iowa, and he's like, I'll be there. So it's like, he obviously also has a joy and a sense of humor. So hopefully,
if they take it poorly, just tell them you're joking.
Yeah, and then just come August, you won't be there.
Yeah, and then just move. Well, thanks so much for listening to the Josh Johnson Show. We had a great time recording. I hope you had a great time listening. If you are looking up to catch. If you're looking up to catch. If you are looking to catch up with us on any of the socials, you can find me at Josh Johnson Comedy on Instagram, at Josh Johnson on Twitter, Josh J Comedy on Facebook, and Josh Johnson Comedy on YouTube and TikTok, where we're going to be posting clips of the show. And if you're looking for Logan,
you can follow me on Instagram at Logan M. Nielsen. And if you want to get into the mailbag, you can either send me messages there because we read them, or you can email us, joshjohnsonshow@gmail.com. You can also join our Patreon. We have bonus podcasts and videos and live virtual shows. Patreon.com/Josh Johnson Show. We also have this month a live, an in-person one, a not on a computer one, a human one in a room. Yeah. Union Hall, that is July, 27th, that Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Yes, July 27th, 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Tickets are still available. If you are in the area, come out. The one we did last year was incredibly fun. I'm super excited to do this one. And then right after that, we're in Philly. So if you're in that area, catch us. We're doing 3 nights? Yeah, 3 nights. Yep. The Punchline in Philly.
Also, this is just for YouTube, little thing. Click on other videos. They'll be popping up over here, over here.
Oh, are we doing that now? We're doing
over here, over here, over here, over here.
Right
and
here.
Have a great week. We appreciate you. Over here, over here, over here.
Let me just put another arm around my buddy.
Don't
Let me
do
just
that.
Come on,
Don't
let's
do
go.
that.
It's a nice picture of the two of us. Come on,
don't do that.
Hey,
over here, over here,
over here,
over
right here, right here, right here,
over here.
I love you.
We can stop recording.
Wow, left me hanging. Say it.
I'll never say
it
on the record.
He's said it before.
A lot of people have asked me why I called the tour Flowers, and obviously flowers are cool, and I'm covered in flowers or wearing a flower suit or whatever in some of the pictures, but the real reason is because when I look at people, I see people, obviously, but I also see like a garden, and gardens are built out of what you nurture, what you plant there, and what you help grow. And it's the mission with flowers to build and bring as much community as possible, bring it to people who feel like they don't have it, and nurture it in the places that are already doing a great job. And so, you know, whether it's me doing something, or it's the flower girls, or it's just like the staff as a whole, you know, we're all striving to leave a mark on every place that we go, to make it feel a little bit more unified in any way that we can. I mean, this tour is special to me, and it's the first time I'm able to really do what I want to do and move how I want to move, as far as all the parts that go into it. I can't wait to see you there.
Together for Josh Johnson.
I don't know about y'all, but I just paid my taxes, and they got me. Oh, they got me good. Oh, they got me real good. I was wondering if they would get me, and then they were like, "No, we didn't forget about you. We think you're special. We would never forget." And I know they charged me extra. They gotta be charging me extra because they know I won't survive jail. So they're like, he gonna pay it. Just write a number. He'll make it happen. It's been great traveling this week. I've been able to go to Milwaukee, Madison, now Minneapolis, and everything. When I was in Madison, there was something sort of curious that was happening. You know, I like being in Minneapolis because y'all smile an appropriate amount. You smile when something good is happening. You know what I mean? When I was in Madison, there were so many errant smiles. There were people just looking forward like, huh. I've never been in a city. I told them this too. I told them this to their face. I was like, y'all all walk like you walk into the light. Like, this is crazy. I try to be a jolly person, but this is insane. Nah, man, what? It was wild. And when I was there, I like when people are happy. I hope to make people happy, but when people got a little bit too much of it going on, I do have to get to the bottom of it. You know, and so I did do a couple things. It's something I like to do in any city when I see too many people smiling when I get there. I immediately go to that city's Yelp. Because I'm like, there are problems here somewhere. We just have to find where they are. You know what I mean? Not everything is a 5-star experience. Not everybody gonna give a 5-star. And it didn't take long. I found a 1-star. I won't name the establishment, but the review simply said, their old fashions taste like barbecue sauce. Let's be clear about something. You have to have such a fundamental understanding of how old fashions and barbecue sauce taste to take a sip of alcohol and go, nah, that's Sweet Baby Ray's. I know Sweet Baby Ray's. When I taste it, you not slick just because you thinned it up a little bit. Oh. It's tough too, because when you're dealing with some of this happiness in different places, you wonder, did y'all get taxed? Do you know what I mean? They must have skipped over y'all if y'all so happy all the time. And I think sometimes taxes feel extra difficult because when you pay them, you feel like you're paying them for everything that happens next, not to pay for the life you were living up until that point. Does that make sense? It's like when you pay rent. You're paying rent to keep living there. But when it comes to taxes, you're mostly paying for everything that already happened, that you already enjoyed or didn't enjoy, depending on the city. And I think that if you got something back with your taxes, let's say you pay your taxes, they give you that tax return and everything. You can read all the numbers, why they say you owe what you owe or why you got back what you got back. And then they list next to that what they paid for with it. That might make people feel a little better, you know, because we don't know where our tax dollars go exactly. So then something happens and you feel like you're paying for that and you're like, this isn't what I paid for. And somebody should tell you, oh no, this isn't on you. That's not, that wasn't your money. You know what I mean? Like paying taxes as part of a country feels like when the bill comes and you got to split it, but you only got wings. Like, hey, I got 6 wings. All right, there are 6 sets of bones in my basket. I didn't take any errant bites or anything. And some of y'all are alcoholics. I am not prepared to split this bill with you. You have your barbecue sauce old fashions. You have your... Not down for this. Because everybody's having some money troubles right about now. I mean, from all different ways. People are getting squeezed in lots of different directions, you know? Like we already know, tariffs are almost old news now. But the fallout isn't. The fallout is fresh. The Dow has only dropped by 1,000 points 11 times in history. And 4 of them were in like the last 2 months. Like this is very bad. If this were a roller coaster, this would be the part of the ride where your neck breaks. Like it's just... Engineers don't build this way. This is not safe. And you know, you see it through the tariffs. I've talked about it before, but those people on the money channels, they're still a bit nervous. They're still freaking out, you know. They still come on every day. One of my favorite things about watching them now is they talk to us like we're the news. They're there doing the news, but they looking right in the camera like, I don't... What y'all think? Oh, it's bad. You know, like just this week, you know, you had people losing money in all sorts of ways. I mean, Christy Noah. Christy Noah was at a restaurant, got her bag stolen, right? And I don't know. It is wild. Okay, because then you have to... Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to put this. Okay, so then when you report your bag as stolen, right, and you got to list the contents of your bag, you know, her bag had her driver's license in it, had her passport in it. She had $3,000 in cash in her bag. $3,000 in American dollars. $3,000 in cash. What you doing, Christy? That's $3,000. North American, South of Canada dollars. She had $3,000. That would make sense if this was like the 90s. You know, it's the 90s. You got it like that. You got 3,000 on you. You know, okay, you might see a food truck, want to treat the town. $3,000 in cash in 2025. $3,000 in the year of our Lord Apple Pay. If I had been the cop that she reported to, that the business, and she told me, listen in the back, oh, my DHS badge, my passport, my driver's license, so much stuff was in there. I had a couple of Jolly Ranchers, and oh yeah, $3,000 in cash. I'd be like, oh, do you rap or something? Like, why do you have that much cash on you? No, she had $3,000 in cash. But the kicker for me was she had a bunch of blank checks. I don't even have to, yeah. You still write checks. In 2025, you just got that blank check on you just in case something pop off, and $3,000 in cash isn't enough. This is the most prepared to be mugged individual I've ever seen in my entire life. That is insane. You already got $3,000 in cash. Imagine you pull up on Christy Noah, you're like, give me everything. And then she's like, here, you about to walk away. And then for whatever reason, you don't know why, you just feel led for one moment. You look over your shoulder back at her, and she got a pen. You said give you everything, you know. A bunch of blank checks. I don't even know if the thief would know what to do. Like, there used to be whole departments dedicated to check fraud. And now it's like 2 dudes. People are not writing checks like that anymore. I bet you. They dump the contents out. They're like, oh, we score. We got $3,000 in cash. We got her DHS badge. I'm sure she's going to want that back. We got her passport, her driver's license. Oh, we got everything. Why she got a bunch of little papers with her name on it? Some people so conceited. No, because I had an incident happen to me when I was in college, where I left for the break, and when I got back, the RA, resident assistant, comes up to me as soon as I get back on campus, and she's like, hey, I'm going to walk with you to your room. Now, you could get in trouble at the school I was in. It was a dry campus. You could get in trouble for like having alcohol in your room, or like if they found anything. Sometimes if there was even a whisper of something in your room, they'd at least want to check it out. And so I didn't know if maybe somebody had said something. I lived in my own room. I had my own like dorm room by myself. And so I was like, I know nothing should be in there that I don't know about, unless maybe I left it unlocked. Somebody put something in there. I don't know. So I'm kind of freaking out on the walk to get to my room. And then I go ahead, I open the door. And before I open the door, she's like, okay, don't freak out. And I was like, that's not how you start. It's the least helpful way. She's like, don't freak out. While people were gone on campus, there were a series of break-ins, and your room was one of the ones that was broken into. Right? Now, this isn't like me being like poor me, but everything I had is everything I had. Right? So like the stuff that I left there, I have one of everything. Right? And same for the stuff at home. And so I'm opening the door thinking like, oh my gosh. Like, I don't have money to replace things that might be missing or broken, you know. So I open the door, and my room is trashed. It's like fully ransacked and everything. And then she's like, you just make a list, okay? Make a list of everything that's missing, and we'll figure out if like the Department of Public Safety on campus and the school at large can like help you recover some of it, or you know, maybe, who knows, maybe the school can like come up with the funds to help you get the stuff that was missing. And so I look around, and I'm moving clothes out of the way and all this stuff. I opened my closet. They were in my closet too and everything. And it takes a little while, but quietly I realized to myself that they didn't take anything. This. How embarrassing it is to get your place broken into, and a thief is like, I'm good. What do you do? What do you do? You know, I'm in my head, quietly walking around. You know, RA is still standing in the doorway and everything. I'm getting defensive in my head. I'm like, all right, I got a couple of good DVDs, all right? They not Fight Club fans? Like, no, I got a PS1. I know the PS3 is out, but I had a 1. They could pawn that. You know, they don't even have imagination. So finally the RA is like, so, anything? And I was like, yeah, they took my Gucci watch. I had 2 Chanel bracelets. You gotta put the bracelets down. Please write the bracelets down, okay? And I had about $3,000 in cash. No. It's difficult when people are feeling like they're squeezed so much financially. Like there are things that you have to pay. The thing I guess that gets me sometimes when it comes to paying tax, I feel like some of the reluctance around it is that it feels like you work all year and then you get taxed for this money that's going to be spent on a bunch of things that you didn't agree to. It less like you worked all year and it's to pay for the things that we already enjoyed. Does that make sense? Like the framing of it, I think, is why people have such a problem. You know, like if you just sent back the tax return and then listed the stuff. Yeah, I mean, we might be like, oh, I didn't know that I kept the bridge open. That's good. That's pretty good. I use that bridge every day. I'm glad it's not in shambles. That's fantastic news. You have to pay your taxes not just because the government is telling you to. It's not the government being some big bad meanie or something. It's you live here. and you use the road, so maybe chip in so that it doesn't fall all the way apart, you know? And like that's not to say, really quick, that's not to say that I just, pay my taxes blindly and love it and never question where it's going, because it is your money as well, so you deserve to have some say in where it goes. That's why we elect people to Congress. It's why we pick the officials that we pick, even on a local level, because we're like, you work for me. You are my employee, and here are the things that I want to see. These are things that I don't want to see. It feels like in this moment we're in a real predicament of, I guess the best way I can describe it is I used to work at a store, and when I worked there, they promoted this one guy that was like, one of us, one of the cashiers. They promoted him, and they really shouldn't have done it. They clearly weren't paying attention. Like I was barely a good employee, and he was worse than me by far. And they promoted him. I was like, that blows my mind. And I wasn't jealous. It wasn't like I wanted a promotion. I felt like my duties to my level of commitment were right on par. Like I was like, let me stack the grapes. Let me stock the shelves. Don't ask me to do more, and I promise not to do less. Okay. But he was actively bad, and they promoted him. And a good example was he wanted to go to business school, and one of the assistant managers said, "Oh, I used to, go to business school. Like I graduated from business school. I tell you what, I will give you all my old business school books. I don't know how much of it will transfer, how much it will actually help you, but it can get you started before you actually start school. You might be able to learn some of the basic concepts. It'll help you." Right? And that was a very nice thing to do. He didn't need to do that. I respected that very, very much. He saw somebody with a dream. He wanted to help them along, And so he gave him these books. And I'm not even kidding. The next day, this dude comes to work and accidentally knocks over about a pallet's worth of wine because he was walking while reading the book. The book, I'm not even kidding, was called How to Understand Business. And this is who you promoted. We're in the business of selling groceries. We buy groceries from places, we hold them until people want to buy them from us, and then we sell them to them. We're in the business of buying and selling groceries. He will stand in direct conflict with our ability to buy and sell groceries. And you've promoted him. We're in a similar predicament now. As a country, we're in a similar situation because Pete Hegseth got in trouble again for the same thing from before. Basically, if you're not familiar, a bunch of people who are supposed to were using the app Signal to, talk about war plans. And, quick gist, they accidentally invited a journalist, and then the mission kicks off. They do the attack. The attack is successful, and everyone finds out, and they're like, "That was dumb. Don't do that again." And everybody was like, "We can't promise that. Like, that's not." Okay. Well, fast forward to rewind, we are in the same situation again, because unbeknownst to, I guess, anybody at the time, Pete Hegseth had not only been using Signal to discuss war plans, he had a whole other channel where he was just talking to his wife, his brother, and his personal attorney. And you couldn't This is what genuinely bothers me. Like this is what actually upsets me about the whole thing. Some people are upset. They're like, I can't believe they were discussing such sensitive information that should have been, they can say it's not top secret. They can say it's not classified, but it's at least something that we should hold tight until the mission happens. And he's just discussing it plainly on this app that could be hacked. And it's like those things. Discussing it with people who shouldn't know isn't actually my problem. Maybe this is my own hot take, but I feel like that sort of thing happens all the time. I think anyone who's like married to someone in government, anyone who's married to someone high up in any business knows some things that they're not supposed to know. That's like human, actually. You don't think Michelle Obama? You don't think Michelle Obama was kept up at night knowing stuff she wasn't supposed to know? Do you hear me? You think Michelle Obama was in the White House like, Barack, what's wrong? And then Barack was like, it's classified. No. I don't think that happened. I'm sure Michelle was in the White House minding her own business. Eating a veggie plate. Barack halfway kicks open the door. I've had it up to here with them. Okay? They want to kill everybody. They want to blow the world up. Now you sitting there, you Michelle, you like, oh, I don't even want my carrots anymore. Oh, no. The thing that bothers me is that Pete just couldn't be professional, and wait for an hour till he got home to tell her in person. Like, just do it the way people normally do it. Walk in the door, be like, you won't believe. Like, that's the way you do it. But when I pay my taxes, I do get upset when I see it blatantly being misused. Like when Pete Hegseth is supposedly building a $40,000 studio in the Pentagon to do his makeup before he goes on TV. I'm like, that, if even $1 of that is mine, I'm very upset. Like, I'm not saying I'm the whole 40, but like, that's so insane. Secretary in the makeup room. Should he be at war? Like, every once in a while, you come into contact with somebody that from. You know in a personal way, and eventually, maybe this has happened to some of you, you turn on local news and you see them. And you're like, I knew it was going to be something. You know what I mean? Maybe it's the 8 o'clock, the 10 o'clock news, but they did something. You see that mug shot and everything. When I was in Chicago, I worked with this dude at our job, in the break room, we had a light sensor for the light switch. So you could just press it, lights come on, or, if nobody was in there or if you didn't move for long enough, lights go off, right? And one day, I'm walking into the break room, take my break, lights are off, I walk in, lights come on, and he's sitting there, already in the break room, eating barbecue. And let me go out on a limb right now and say that if you eat barbecue in the dark, you are a murderer, okay? You're already guilty in my mind. If you are that comfortable with bones in the dark, there's no telling what else you're capable of. If you are that comfortable slipping and sliding on your teeth and tongue. A barbecue is messy enough in the light. You should have seen his face when the lights came on. It was insanity. And then I walk in and he not even, if it were me and that happened, because I try to put myself in his shoes. I try to be empathetic. I'm like, okay, let's say you eating barbecue in the break room on your break, right? Kind of a heavy meal for a 15-minute break, but to each their own, you know what I mean? You go be sleepy when you come back, but I want everybody to enjoy their life. So let's say you're eating barbecue in the break room and you are somehow doing it so still. I'm not saying he should be hitting the rib like corn on the cob. You know what I mean? I'm not like I'm not saying he should be digging into it with his face. Like, in case you're wondering, that is, at least in my mind, the sound you make when you eat barbecue in the dark. Like that. If you eat barbecue in the dark, you don't eat it like the rest of us. The rest of us chew like civilized people, but if you in the dark eating barbecue, you are wilding out. You're doing whole other sounds and effects that the rest of us don't do, you know? I'm not saying that you need to be doing a bunch of extra movements when you eat your barbecue. I'm just saying if you're doing it so still, you know, munch, munch, munch. Munch, munch, munch. Munch, 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 munch. Munch, munch, yum. Munch, 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 munch. If you're doing it so subtle that a light sensor, that technology was like, ain't nobody in the room. And then they decide to shut the lights off on you, and you still did not feel led to change the conditions of your meal. If you were eating barbecue in the break room and then the lights go off and you're like, that's even better. That tells me you're not right in the head. Something is going on with your mind or your spirit. Something is evil in you. Munching away. And then you think to yourself, oh, what if someone walks in? What if someone walks in and feels like, this is awkward, this is weird. I would hate for them to judge me and my entire personality based off of one instance, you know? Maybe I should get up and paw my way, if the lights don't come on, to the light switch and press it so the lights come on and the room is once again filled with God's holy light. I even tried to extend that olive branch and be like, you know what? He probably didn't want to get barbecue sauce on the switch. You know what I mean? Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he thought if he was flinging his hands, he'd get barbecue sauce on the walls. That would look even scarier because now I walk in, the wall's red, you got a bone in your hand, you munching away. Really try to put myself in that headspace. Try to be fair to him. And after I got through thinking all those thoughts, I was like, nah, the whole thing was weird. No, I was right. It's insane. Okay. Side note. I left that job, right? And one day I was catching up with a different coworker. I was telling them what happened, right? I was like, hey, I was super weird. Like, I get in there and, you know, he'd been in the dark, so he wasn't fazed. It wasn't like something just happened and I walked in right after or whatever. And they were like, oh, you know what? I didn't want to tell anybody. But the same thing happened to me. Which means on a different day, this man was eating barbecue so gentle that he lost the light again. And this dude, okay, so look, so my coworker told me, they were like, no, okay, so when I walked in, that light, I think, was genuinely broken because I walked in and it was still dark. Like, it didn't just come on because I swung the door open, right? So we at least know now he didn't turn the lights off on himself. Because I did worry about that. I did worry that man took his break, went to the break room with his barbecue, knew what he was about to do, knew how unchristian he was about to behave, set the barbecue down on the table and was like, nobody needs to know. But yeah, so apparently there was a problem with the light in the break room, and they were like, yeah, but when I walked in, he was eating the barbecue, and I'm pretty sure he was choking. Which would make you feel bad for him for a second, until you really put yourself in that situation. Because if you walk in to a dark room, you assume nobody's in there. And the sound of someone choking on barbecue in a dark room does sound like a demon. It does sound... If you walk in and so like... No, do it real quick. Close your eyes. Close your eyes real quick. I want everybody to close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Piece of brisket getting caught in the back of your throat, and now you sound like Beelzebub. No. And so then when the light when the light from the door spilled in, they saw him. And they couldn't really make him out. Because they were kind of blocking the light themselves, just standing in the doorway. And they said that they just saw him, like, eating in the corner. Which, why are you facing the wall? I forgot to mention that. That happened to me, too. He was facing the wall. It's already dark. You don't need to worry about being seen. But he's facing the wall going... I was like, what did you do? What did you do when that happened? And they were like, I thought it was a demon. I yelled out loud, I rebuke you. And then I closed the door. Oh, man. So then, you know, I'm chilling in my apartment in Chicago and watching the news. And I see a mugshot with a familiar face who had been arrested for trying to rob a barbecue restaurant. It's especially tough right now because I think people are getting squeezed from more angles than we thought was possible, right? It's like, wages aren't increasing, jobs are hard to come by because of layoffs. Some of the layoffs are like the seasonal layoffs when, companies restructure and everything, things that we're actually used to. But then some of them are people losing their jobs in government. Some people are losing their jobs in the private sector in place of potential like AI advancements and stuff, all while you have the tariffs going on. And I truly believe that some of it is preventable. Obviously, there's going to be ebbs and flows with every economy. There's going to be ebbs and flows with every country throughout its history of how rich it is or how markets fluctuate. Some of these are unforced errors, and some of these are things that just happen, but it's all happening at one time, And I think very basically, I wish everyone could agree on it, but we're not there yet, that just by being human, just by virtue of being alive, you deserve access to basic necessities, the most basic of things, right? And especially if you're working. If you are working full time and you're still struggling to get the basic, we're talking about food, water, and shelter. We're talking about the most basic things. And I think sometimes when you bring up the people who are having a rough time, they're having a rougher go of it than is just, right? Life isn't fair, but you build the scale so that things can level out, so that they can be just. And when you talk about people who are having a rough time, who need extra help to try to get level, and they're working, they're doing their best. I think people conflate that with people who want luxuries or they want something for free. These people are already working. We are the hardest working country in the world. We clock more hours than anybody else, and we every year have less and less to show for it. We have less to show in healthcare. We have less to show in education and possibility of upward mobility. Every year we work harder, and every year we have less. We take less vacation days than pretty much anyone in the world, and for all of our hard work, we are not seeing the fruits of our labor. And there are people who will tell you, oh, but if you just work a little bit harder, if you just do it this way, oh, I'm smart, I figured it out, you will too. It's people who are not addressing the fact that everyone does not get a fair shake. Like, you only need to look at me as an example. You don't think I want to be in the NBA? I did everything that I was supposed to do. I ate my greens. All right, I shot the ball. I did the running. I did everything. But trust me, if I show up to an open tryout and shoot my shot for whatever team will have me, they will be calling security. All right. And finances work in a similar way. I'm not coming down on anybody who came up well, went to a good school, and then through that good school, you made a connection, which got you your job, which affords you your lifestyle. I'm not saying you don't work hard. I'm saying everyone doesn't have that same opportunity, And I think that at the very basis, right? At the very basis of food, water, and shelter, people get it in their head that even shelter means, a lavish house or something. Lavish. I'm not talking about lavish things. I'm talking about enough to get by. Everyone is fighting to get by. When you talk to people who don't have about what they want, they just want to be level. They're not asking for expensive, lavish things like outdoor furniture. Patio furniture is ridiculously expensive. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It's literally outside. You don't even want it in your home. It's almost trash. I don't care how comfortable it is. You literally let it get rained on. You buy it from a store, and then you bring it inside for a second just to take it out to the backyard and leave it there. And it's too expensive. It's crazy. In fact, when the outdoor furniture is inside, that's when you know it's bad. When I was living with some friends in college, Their lawn chairs were the chairs. And I was like, we in a bad situation. We're not doing well. You got the patio furniture for the TV. We about to die tomorrow. Whew. Yeah. You know? It's bad. It's bad. And it shouldn't be this bad, you know? You work, you pay your taxes, those things should come back to benefit you. And it's still that there's a narrative that's going on that's got all of us really going after and arguing with each other. As if there's limited resources, as if there's limited money, as if there's limited opportunity, and we know there's not. We know that there's actually plenty to go around. Even with the hundreds of millions of us that are in this country, there's plenty to go around because we know how much billionaires have. Because they make it known how much they have, you know? Like you see how much land they own and you're like, that is a lot of people could live there. That's crazy. Or you know that CEO that said he wanted to own all the water. It's like, that's something you keep to yourself. What a sociopathic thing to say. Oh, I want all the water. You can't even drink it. What's wrong with you? That's what kills me. It's like people think that it's solely government. People think that it's their job. They think it's not. I promise it's not. And what really burdens me, what keeps me up at night is that these people are siphoning all of this money. They siphon it from the government. They get benefits from the government. They get tax cuts from the government. They siphon all of this money. They siphon your wealth from you. They siphon it in wages by the fact that they don't increase. They siphon it off of like shrinkflation when they act like they cry poor and then they charge you more for less. They siphon all this money, all to what end? To have a few people have all that money. All of that money, more money than anyone will ever need in their lifetime. And you know it because they don't spend it. They siphon all of this money out. They are literally parasitic. And then they dress like me. That's so crazy. You have all the money in the world and you look like me. What are you doing? That's so crazy. Oh, it doesn't have to be this way. And I know sometimes you can feel powerless, especially when the big thing is happening, when the big thing is just going, you know. But it does with a movement towards any action that is based in the people's wishes, it has to come to fruition in any instance. And you see it all over the world. You see people rise up in whatever form it takes to make their voices heard. And it's still very much possible. I know that there's a narrative out there that you're like a cog, that there's nothing you can do, and that you might as well just scrounge up as many pennies as you can to get by, and that'll be the best you can ask out of life. You know? It's to the point now where even people who cross over that $1 million threshold, they enter that tax bracket, they still feel that way. You could make $500,000. You could have $300,000 saved up, and you might sell something within your company, make another $200,000. You might cross that $1 million threshold, even by just a little bit, and still be like, I'm barely getting by. And people roll their eyes at that. They scoff at that. But the way that things are set up, unless you are uber rich, it's very easy to drop right out of that tax bracket. None of that is certain. You know, small business owners, some of them could be considered millionaires, but they'll tell you, they're like, my actual business and the people that I care for, the employees that I employ that depend on me for their benefits, for their livelihood. It's like we are month to month, right? So this structure doesn't end at just taking care of yourself. And it's why everybody, to the best of our ability, we have to be looking at the whole. The the way that they play it is the way that benefits them every single time. Someone who's already a billionaire would love for you to just try to be like me. You can do it if you work hard enough. That's the narrative out there. They don't talk about how many government benefits they get, how many tax cuts they get, that they were born rich. They don't let any of that into the story because it would kind of ruin the whole thing. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's literally it's up to you because we're already there. We're already in a place where I don't see how things are just going to get better by themselves. People are putting burritos on layaway. That's insane. That's so crazy. There are apps now that they come to you and they're like, hey, we'll let you finance your lunch, dog. You know, pay $3 now, we got you. And they do. They have you. And they don't let go. And before you know it, it's been a month. And that burrito that was $12 when you didn't have it is $65 now when you're done paying for it. And it wasn't worth it. And it siphoned more from you. The things that weren't already taken. They can take your wealth. They're taking it now. They cannot take your worth. If you know your worth, if you remember your worth, and you fight for it every day, and you fight for it with who you vote for, you go to your town halls and you speak to them and you let them know, we hired you. You work for us. We pay our taxes. Go tell them that this is done. It doesn't have to be this way. We can demand more. And the thing that we're demanding is not some sort of handout. We're demanding our work back to us in proportion for how hard we've worked. These people believe, they genuinely believe that they built this company up by themselves as if there's some idea truly as a self-made man. It's like, even if you built a company and you ship the things to the people and they love your product and they want more of it, and you think you're such a genius, there are people driving that truck. There are people packing up those packages. And then there's the road that you didn't build. You know? In what world should it be like this? That's crazy. And then the narrative gets put back on us that we deserve these pennies, that we deserve such a small share of the thing that we helped build. Look around. Really look around when you walk around your city. Really look around when you travel. Wherever you go in America, no matter who you are, we built this. We built this together. We built it. And I'm not even saying that these like titans of industry don't hold a part in it. I'm not discounting someone having an idea and through ingenuity bring it to fruition to the point where they employ people, to the point where people depend on them. But there are responsibilities that come with that sort of thing. You know, I wanted to start a candy company, and I was like, nah, I'm actually going to be a terrible boss. I'd be a terrible boss. You know, I'd be in there in the candy factory eating all the chocolate, making myself sick. And then when people come to the factory to look at our chocolate, they'd be like, the boss is in the bathroom throwing up again because he's a child that can't stop himself. And that's why I didn't start a business, because I was like, you know, there are other people that are better at it. It's tough. You know, you shouldn't be put in a position where you got to put barbecue that you eat in the dark on layaway. Like that's
Y'all are in for a treat. Give it up for Josh Johnson!
I don't expect everyone to know or care about what's happening in New York, you know? Which is why I was surprised that the nation seems so gripped by New York City's mayoral race. Like, this, people talk about it everywhere because I think it's just feels like a beta test for something bigger, you know? In case you're not familiar with who's running,
right? You have to understand who's running to understand what's happening. Eric Adams is the mayor of New York City. And Eric Adams, in case you don't know, is one of the worst people at corruption I've ever seen. You know what I mean? Like, have a little mystery about you. Like, it's just, I feel like I could pay him off. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, like, one day when they make, like, his corruption is just, it's not enough. You know what I mean? If you're gonna be corrupt, go all in. He'd be having me feel bad for him. You know what I mean? You did all this corruption, that's all they gave you? You should have asked for more. I was very upset. If they ever revisit this chapter in New York mayoral history, everybody gonna be disappointed. Be like, flights? He went down for flights? Just tickets? You know what I mean? You had a dude in Illinois at least going down for gold bars. That's real corruption. That's like cartoon corruption. You know what I mean? Like, he took it back to the 50s level corruption. Break me off some gold bars, I'll get you anything you want. That's mustache twiddling, tying women to railroads corruption. That's crazy. And you over here embarrassing us as New Yorkers. This is a very rich city, and you going down for a couple flights to Turkey. Turkey! It's insane. But anyway, this dude got indicted. Indicted while in office, but because he has no shame, everybody was like, he gonna step down, right? Like, he got stepped down once he's indicted. That's too embarrassing to go to work indicted. The closest thing I can imagine to, like, okay, okay, this is bad, my bad. Look, so when I was a kid, I mean, I was a little bit older, but my buddy's dad got in trouble, and he got a little time. He had to do like a year, right? But he did, one of the crimes, I still don't understand this, one of the crimes where you get to report to jail. Like, you get to report to, that's always weird, because whenever you watch Law and Order, they take you like, jail start right after usually that's jail, you know what I mean? Like, usually they take you out, I didn't do it, right? But for some reason, they told him he was guilty, but they let him, get his stuff in order, and he could report to jail. And that weekend, his son, my friend, took the car without permission and came home a little later than curfew. And clearly, his kid may be like acting out of frustration about things that are going on with his dad, but he gets home and his dad's very upset with him, and he's like, you didn't ask for permission for the car, you're supposed to be home by 10, I'm sorry, but you're grounded. And my buddy was like, no, I'm just throwing it out there, because which one of us got to go to jail on Monday? Like, it sounds like you grounded. It sounds like you really the one in trouble here. And that's kind of what it felt like with Adams. He's like, still trying to be a mayor, talk about crime and stuff. Over here talking about crime in the city. And so then you also have Curtis Sliwa. And Curtis Sliwa is the Republican running. And he's an interesting dude. He is. He was like the head of the Guardian Angels. If you don't know what the Guardian Angels are, they're basically these people who hang out on the subway. You know the movie The Warriors? All right, it's like that, but if one of the gangs wanted to be the police. Like, all they really do is just fight black and brown people that they think are doing a crime, and sometimes lose the fight very badly because they are getting older. And Curtis Lee, like, I guess I could slightly see how someone like him ends up like him, because he does have a story of violence against him for every story you bring up about New York City. Like, you'll be like, hey, do you ever take the yellow cab? He's like, I was shot in the back of a yellow cab in 1986. And you're like, how has this much happened to you? But Curtis Lee was running as a Republican. And then you have Andrew Cuomo. Andrew Cuomo is a former governor. And now he is running for mayor because governor turned out so well. And then you have Zohran Mamdani. And Zohran Mamdani almost feels like a fixture of politics at the moment, because he is someone who seems to be the antidote for the thing that's been ailing the Democratic Party maybe for like 9 years. You know? This is a dude who is running on what he will do and his own policies that he believes in. And it's one of the first people, Democrat or Republican, that is running without really having to say anything about Trump. He has his own ideas. He has things he wants to do for the place that he is running. He's not running on being not like Trump or closer to Trump or someone Trump will call or someone that Trump hates. He is not using Trump in his orbit. People bring him up, but he himself is saying, I want to make the buses fast and free. I want to have free child care. I want to freeze the rent for rent-stabilized homes. And I want to make sure that we hold bad landlords accountable. Things that are very specific, because that's the other thing that it feels like the Democratic Party has been missing, is a clear and concise plan for a policy, something that you can attach yourself to, that you don't really need to get in the weeds for. Because I'm not saying that Democratic senators and Democratic candidates have not had good plans. I'm just saying that once you need a graph, we are a country that doesn't like to read. It doesn't matter if it's a pie chart, it's still reading. Because one of the things that they've come after Mamdani about over and over and over again about his policies, how are you going to pay for it? How are you going to do this? How do you plan to pay for it, right? And one thing that he's done very well is had a quick and simple explanation for his plans to pay for something, So when they ask him about maybe the bus system or maybe more rent stabilization, he'll say, oh, we already spend this much money. So for the buses, he's like, we already generate $700 million in a bus fare. I think that would, is clearly money that we could use towards a free bus system. Also, all we have to do is raise the corporate tax rate and we'll have billions of extra dollars that could go towards childcare, billions of extra dollars that could go towards like a bus system. And then they're like, well, how do you plan to pay for it? Raising the corporate tax. Well, what will happen? If you raise the corporate tax, people will leave. Where you raise the corporate tax to? And they'll be like, oh, I'm just raising it to the same as New Jersey. Like what they already do right there. Like they actually already do it over there. I guess you didn't know that, but it's already, I would just copy them. It wouldn't be higher than that. Like I would copy what they do over there. And I don't know, is everyone dead in New Jersey? I don't think so. I don't think everybody left. In fact, a lot of people moved there. So I think they'll be fine. But I don't think that Zohran is leading in the polls or is the Democratic candidate because of his clear and concise policy. I don't even think it's his youth. I don't even think it's because he's captured a moment. I think that he is the front runner because he, more so than anybody else, to a degree I've never seen before, is the number one. I'm telling you, the number one of all time, the number one Andrew Cuomo hater. He hates this dude. He hates this dude so much. He hates this man. He wake up and hate him. He wake up and he hate him with a smile too. You ever had somebody hate you with a smile? It makes you feel crazy. You're like, what you just said to me was foul, but you're smiling. Why are you smiling? No, he hates this dude. And look, don't get me wrong, they all hate him. Like every candidate hates Cuomo. Eric Adams hates Cuomo so much that even though he had zero chance of winning, even though he was actually campaigning, this man was like, look, I'm gonna do it better next time. And we're like, do you mean crime? Do you mean... Eric Adams, he's even, look, to his credit, he is stumping with Cuomo. He's over there side by side with Cuomo and everything, probably looking for a job because he's about to be out of one. You know what I mean? Like, he is out there with Cuomo, but you can tell he hates this dude. Sliwa hates him. Curtis Sliwa hates Cuomo. He hates Cuomo so much that he was actually asked by a reporter, you know, you're over here getting about 11% in the polls. Why not drop out if you don't want Zoran to win that much? Why not drop out? And clearly the people voting for you might also vote for Cuomo. And then Curtis Sliwa looked really offended. He was like, why would I drop out? People like me. This man is running as a Republican in New York City, and he's still like, I'm not going to drop out if it helps him. Zoran Mondani hates Cuomo. He hates that dude so much. Hates him so effectively. Real hate. I've never hated somebody so much. I learned all their stats. Zoran hates Cuomo so much, he memorized everything Cuomo ever did wrong and bring it up any chance he get. That's generational hate. I think Andrew Cuomo hates Andrew Cuomo because he running. It's like, why are you putting yourself through this? You know, man. Because then you look at the debates. Okay. This is very important. I gotta go back in the story for a second because Andrew Cuomo wasn't always hated. Even if you hate him right now, think back to a time where you didn't even know who he was. That time he was like beloved. People forget all about it because that's kind of what we do whenever somebody has lost favor in the public eye. A lot of people say they never liked him or that they don't really know why anyone ever liked him. But people loved Cuomo, especially 2019 into 2020. People loved that dude. People loved Cuomo so much. I think that's why people hate him so much now. Because everything he did feels like such a betrayal of their love. You know, people were out here calling themselves Cuomo-sexuals. Look it up. That's a real thing. People loved him so much. And then he got popular around the same time that like zaddy became a term and everything. So he was riding some of that wave and stuff. And you know, there were people, oof. Cuomo couldn't go anywhere without middle-aged women fawning. They were like, oh, he's so handsome. They loved Cuomo. And then COVID came. And for a little while, they loved him even more because New York's numbers during COVID looked really, really bad initially. Obviously, it would. It's an epicenter of travel. People go there from all over the world. And we're also on top of each other all the time, pandemic or no pandemic. But then, we saw these huge numbers that scared everybody. And Cuomo's like, we're going to take this seriously. We're going to lock everything down. And he announced a bunch of policies. As soon as he announced those policies went into effect, and you saw the numbers crater. It was genuinely amazing to watch. It really felt like there was a lot of hope and everybody was going to live. And this is a long time before the vaccine came out or anything. So it was when people were at peak fear, right? But it was a wild time in New York because we had shut down so effectively that for the first time in New York City, the air was clean. You could take a deep breath. And then later, there was a scandal. Basically, it was exposed that Cuomo was doing some of the same things that Ron DeSantis was accused of doing in Florida, because Florida also had some pretty good numbers during COVID, which is weird because they didn't have any real shutdowns. They didn't have any real like mask regulations or anything like that. But then both Cuomo and DeSantis were caught just not reporting or telling people not to report certain numbers. And it turned out that New York was looking really, really good in certain sections of the lockdown, except for nursing homes. And so the thing that's really important about that is that if you see the numbers going down and you've set up a bunch of policies, you'll think, okay, we should just keep doing this, see if the numbers go down further, right? If the numbers go up, you're like, clearly we need to change something. So because we did not have those markers of spikes, we didn't change things. And so there were a lot of seniors that died that didn't need to. They died in nursing homes because of protocols that just didn't have enough evidence around them and weren't the best practices, right? And he was covering it up. Some were saying by 50%, right? And so people started to like him a heck of a lot less. And then at the same time, basically in tandem, he was accused by about 11 women of sexual harassment. Then it was 13. That's stats. Those are numbers. Double digits, you doing it. You are clear. 13 women who don't know each other all got a story about you. That's you. You doing it. All of a sudden, nobody was Cuomo-sexual anymore. And everybody was telling this dude to resign, but he tried to fight it. He was like, I'm going to fight these allegations. You're going to see my name's going to be cleared. And we were like, all right, but even if they clear your name on these sexual harassment allegations, you still did the nursing home thing. And so everybody from Joe Biden to Eric Adams was telling this dude to resign. And he finally resigned 2021. And now he's running for mayor. That's just important to make sure you know, because I've watched people struggle before in a way that was kind of what looked like a bit of a lost cause. I try to be optimistic for people that are in my life, but I'll give you an example. My buddy wanted to enter an arm wrestling contest, and we are built the same. I'm never going to tell anybody not to follow their dream, but I won't let someone sleepwalk off a building. And so I was like, are you sure? Because, you look like a mirror right now, and I'm not entering any arm wrestling. But he's like, no, I want to do it. Been watching online. It's so cool. There's actually a tournament coming up. I want to go. And so, I went with him. We went, and this dude squares up. It was one of those ones where they got the peg on one side, so you grab it, and they got your arm with the pad for your elbow. And sure enough, they went. And as soon as they started, he was over here. And I couldn't believe it. This man was actually winning. He was like pushing the arm down, and then he won. I was surprised. Like when people got that farmer strength? You don't see any like real definition of muscle. It's all smooth, but they're incredibly strong. I was like, maybe that's him. And then I watched him from round to round. This man and got to the semifinals. And at the semifinals, somebody walked up who really did look like a final boss. In my head, I was like, you've done very well for yourself. It's time to pack it up before you, before he take that arm for good. It's gonna pop right out the socket. I'm gonna leave with one. And sure enough, he squared up. And then they told him to go, and he, oh! But this was different. This dude wasn't really moving, but he was really strained, even leaning a bit. Oh, and then he started to make noises he hadn't made in the other rounds. Oh! Oh! Once you scream in an arm wrestling contest, you have lost something. This man, oh! 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 And he's straining, and he's straining, and he's straining till finally he goes, oh! Oh! And he won. Now, to be fair, he won because the other guy went, ugh! Apparently, that is a disqualification. And even when we were in the car ride home, we did have to leave. He didn't get to go to the finals because even when we were in the car, I was over there trying to be optimistic. I was over there like, at least you won. I give you an example of how much Zoran Mamdani hates Andrew Cuomo. In the first debate, right? In the first debate, it was Curtis Lewa, Zoran Mamdani, and Andrew Cuomo all on stage together. Really, the race is between these two, but every once in a while we throw Curtis a question. And Cuomo's talking. And he goes, look, this is not a job. Being a mayor of one of the richest, biggest cities in the country is not a place for on-the-job experience. You know, this guy's never had a job before, and I don't think he can run the city. He definitely can't run it like I can. I can do a much better job. This is not a job for experience while you're in it. You gotta know, you gotta come with plans of what you're gonna do. And then, to his credit, Zoran, you know, it's like, I do have plans for what I'm going to do. I've stated my plans clearly. Your only plan is to attack me. And Cuomo also came at him with a couple of things that are like talking points that a bunch of the candidates have used that they're not really clicking for me, but I don't know. Maybe I just don't have enough Islamophobia to have it register. But one of the things that Cuomo brings up is like, this man still, you know, won't denounce the phrase globalize the Antifada. All right? You know, he's over here lobbing accusations at me. He still won't denounce the phrase globalize the Antifada. What Andrew Cuomo is referring to, supposedly, is a time where someone else said it and Zoran didn't, I guess, tackle them. This isn't language that he used. It's not something he said. It's something that someone else said that I guess he didn't do enough about. in Cuomo's eyes, right? Mamdani responded, well, look, you're talking about things that are from 2020. And since we're talking about things that are from 2020, I don't know why, people would elect a mayor who sent so many seniors to their deaths in nursing homes. What I lack in experience, I make up for in integrity. And for what you lack in integrity, you could never make up for in experience. And I've never watched any debate like a rap battle. I was sitting in front of the computer like, oh! Get him! No, it's wild. Even Curtis Lewitt got in digs on Cuomo. Cuomo was catching it from all angles. Because then, they were talking about the accusations that had been lobbed at Cuomo during his time as governor. And Curtis Lewitt goes, really? You spent all that money defending yourself? Really? All 13 women are lying, Andrew? All 13 women? This man hates Cuomo so much, he is standing up for women as a Republican. This dude hates Cuomo with all his heart. Oh, this dude hates Cuomo so much. And then the second debate was even worse. There was a moment in the second debate where the candidates were allowed to ask each other a question. It was just question and answer. They couldn't go back and forth. You just got a question, you had to answer. And Cuomo went over on Mamdani and he was like, you took a picture with this leader in Uganda. Did you know that this leader is actually someone who denounces all rights for gay people? They've actually worked on making it illegal to be gay in Uganda, and you took a picture with them. And Zoran answered, listen, at the time, I did not know this person's policies. I took a picture with this person. If I had known, I would not have taken that picture, full stop, right? And then it was Zoran's turn. And Zoran asked, he was like, Mr. Cuomo, in 2021, you were credibly accused by 13 women of sexual harassment. And in that time, you spent $20 million of taxpayer funds to defend yourself from all of these women. And you've lobbed, lawsuits, and you've worked with judges for gag orders and everything. You filed defamation suits on all these women. You have actually tried to obtain gynecological medical records of some of these women. Well, one of those women, Charlotte Bennett, is actually here tonight in the audience. And she can't even tell her story or speak for herself because you've lodged a defamation suit against her. But I can speak, so I want to ask on all of their behalfs, what do you say to the 13 women that accused you of sexual harassment? And it's in that moment I realized I wasn't hating to my full potential as a person. You know what I mean? Like, I am a C-tier hater when it comes to this level of hate is unprecedented. I thought Kendrick hated Drake. This is truly wild. Because what can you do if you're Cuomo? I'll tell you what he did. He went, You went to Uganda? Truly, I have not seen a face like that on a person. Like Andrew Cuomo's face when it was happening. I hadn't seen anyone make a face like that since my friend won his arm wrestling contest. I feel like the same thing was happening to Cuomo that happened to my buddy. Very bad. Whew. And Zoran is still leading in the polls, And one of the reasons that I think that he's still leading is because some of these efforts to stop Mamdani have only helped him. only helped him because billionaires have come out in force against every policy and against Zoran as a candidate. And that says a lot. They're like accidentally making him more popular. You know? President Trump even said that if Zoran wins, he may have to mobilize the National Guard, take over New York City, which would be not just like a spit in the face to an open, free, and fair election, but what messaging does that look like to you? That you might have to send the National Guard and take over a city if the dude who wants free pre-K wins? No? Like all their efforts, they've spent so much money. Zoran himself has said, y'all are spending way more money on ads trying to campaign against me than I was even going to tax you. You don't want it that bad, and why don't you want it that bad? That's crazy. There's something happening here, and I think that's why it's got so much tension across the nation. I think that, you know, America's very good at telling a story, and America is a salesman unto itself. It's like a salesman of a dream and of an idea, you know. And people, you know, one of the things that Trump and other people have said about Zoran is that he's a communist. He says he's a socialist, but he's a communist. And maybe that would have worked like 20 years ago. That might have worked. But we are a capitalist country. We all live in capitalism. And it's going poorly enough for enough people that they're willing to try anything. So calling someone a communist, this sort of Russia red, China red scare, it just doesn't hit the same when people are working jobs and still can't afford to feed their families. And then along comes someone with not just a lot of energy, but a lot of hope that says it doesn't have to be this way. Look at what they do over there. If we just did what they do over there, we'd be able to have more things for us, which is our money anyway. A lot of people have this misconception that the money that a corporation makes is all theirs and was all earned. But they got that money from how much they pay their workers, how much they actually provide for their consumers. And you see that when left up to their own devices, they skimp on, let's say it's just food, they skimp on ingredients, they skimp on workers, they skimp on. And then one day when they have $1 billion valuation, we look at them as if to tax them would be taking their $1 billion instead of just taking back what is owed to the people that made them great, you know? And so I think that what is so scary for people about Zoran that really don't like him is that he is a reminder to a lot of people that you are a citizen, you're not a consumer, you are a constituent, you're not a customer. Like the story that gets told now, especially by our politicians, is that if you ask for what is owed to you, what is actually yours, you're asking for a handout. But you already paid for these things, and you pay them. So the idea that these people would all stand together in unison against this person who just wants to make the bus free should tell you something. And all of them stand together against him in the way that they are, with all the money they're throwing at him, and with all the fear-mongering that they're doing, it is having the opposite effect. Because now, to vote for him, even if you don't even like him, you get to stick it to a billionaire, people you already don't like. So what you've accidentally done is made voting for him like kind of cool as well. It would be like if you didn't want someone to date someone else, but the way that you lobbed things at them, the things that you said about them to try to discourage this person from dating this other person, would be like if you sat them down and said, oh, you don't want to get with him. No, his penis too big. He's just... You don't even want those problems. You don't.
Mira.